Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
I just would like a really sincere apology for it being placed on us.
A Minnesota family claims they got sick after swimming in a hotel pool here in Fargo. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us.
Jessica Kuiman says it was supposed to be a fun family weekend in Fargo, but it didn't end well after her 2.5-year-old son, Bentley, got E. coli. Their doctor told them it has to be from the swimming pool at the Holiday Inn.
Bentley's the only one that we for sure know and for sure got tested.
Mom Jessica Kuiman says her 2.5-year-old son Bentley got E. coli from the swimming pool at the Holiday Inn in Fargo. She says when she called the hotel manager, she was less than pleased with his response.
I talked to the manager and he said that they test their waters or test the water and everything on a regular basis. But then he said that it was probably just from the kids eating junk and stuff like that, in which we don't really let our kids do, and we didn't that weekend.
We contacted the North Dakota Department of Health. They tell us they have not heard of E. coli cases connected to the Holiday Inn in Fargo.
We have verified that the Holiday Inn has not heard anything, no complaints, nothing like that, and that's pretty typical. They would hear about it. The Minnesota Department of Health has not sent us any information regarding any possible E. coli cases.
Dr. Jennifer Hsu says most E. coli, particularly the form that causes diarrhea, are transmitted through fecal-oral transmission.
So essentially someone has contaminated hands and they either touch food that's undercooked or a swimming pool that is underchlorinated, and then either they ingest the water or the food, or they don't wash their hands and then they eat or drink and they transmit disease that way.
Kuiman says she wants the hotel to acknowledge it was their fault.
I just would like a really sincere apology for it being placed on us, I guess. And so that kind of was where I was frustrated.
We tried contacting the hotel manager but have not heard back yet.
Authorities are asking for your help in locating Sherry Ann Glover of Havana, North Dakota. Glover is 45 years old. She's 5 feet tall, weighs about 135 pounds. She has brown hair and blue eyes. Now, she was last seen yesterday morning in Havana, and police say that she has a history of mental illness and is believed to be on foot. Now, if you have any information as to her whereabouts, please call 701-724-3302.
They have paid their debt to society, but people with a criminal background say it's challenging to find housing. Federal law prohibits discrimination against people with a criminal history. The FM Coalition for Homeless Persons says finding housing is important because it allows them to re-enter society.
It makes it tougher. I mean, I think if I didn't have my family and my fiance here, it would be a lot more of a challenge. I have my mind in the right place this time.
I think one of the biggest factors in relapse and in recidivism is not having housing, or not having, safe, sustainable housing, or going back to the old neighborhood.
The FM Coalition, again for Homeless Persons, says along with having a criminal background, barriers like being disabled also make it hard to find housing, causing homelessness.
We made it through day one of the 13th Avenue South construction project, but not without some headaches. People are getting acquainted with driving in only one lane of traffic in either direction along 13th and finding that detours are clogged.
The roadwork stretches from West Acres to 45th Street, so some drivers are getting creative with how they navigate that area. Here's Valley News Team's Natalie Parsons.
As day one of the construction comes to a close, those using 13th Avenue South are not at all impressed. They knew it was coming, but they weren't expecting this.
I didn't think it was going to be quite this long, like the length of the road was going to be worked on this amount. I thought they were going to work on small chunks.
Many try following the 15th Avenue and 17th Avenue alternative routes, as well as finding their own.
I took the back roads near Burlington. I took that route instead of the main road.
But a different route means a longer trip, and that is what anyone hitting the road will dread the most.
Unless I want to drive all the way down to 32nd and backtrack, and that's going to add on an extra at least 2 miles to my commute.
Those on the road trying to avoid the traffic are finding that detours are not detours.
I used to see like 3 to 4 cars. Now I see 20 to 25.
Some drivers are being proactive to ensure that they get from point A to point B safely.
Leave early.
Just kind of have to go through it and hopefully find the time of day that's not too busy.
In Fargo, Natalie Parsons, Valley News Live.
The 13th Avenue reconstruction will run through October and will widen the avenue to a 6-lane roadway. Prosecutors are charging a West Fargo man in connection with a drive-by shooting in North Fargo. Patrick Watson of West Fargo faces a reckless endangerment charge for allegedly shooting at a man around 4 p.m. Thursday in a North Fargo neighborhood. At that time, police told us that 2 shots were fired from a van near 908 12th Street North. No one was injured. Watson is being held in the Cass County Jail.
A Lutheran minister, Scott Morey of Shevlin, Minnesota, has been convicted on 13 counts of criminal sexual conduct. The prosecutor says all of the charges relate to conduct against 2 minor children. Now, documents say the 2 boys endured sexual molestation for years, including sexual penetration. Morey is being held in jail without bail. Each conviction against Morey carries a maximum sentence of 10 years to 30 years in prison.
2 men involved in the armed robbery of a Taco John's have been sentenced for their roles in the incident. 27-year-old Rico Brown was sentenced to 5 years for acting as a lookout, while 25-year-old Calvin Brown was sentenced to 3.5 years for being the getaway driver. Both men live in the FM area. The case was investigated by the Fargo Police Department and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. On September 3rd of last year, the Taco John's on 32nd Avenue South and 26th Street was robbed at gunpoint. During the robbery, 2 men entered the restaurant and an employee was shot. This past Tuesday, 24-year-old Carl Eugene Smith pleaded guilty to 2 counts for his role in the incident. He'll be sentenced on July 15th.
In Jamestown, police there say they're investigating an accident involving a train and a man in a wheelchair. They say a westbound BNSF train was traveling at a low rate of speed when a 60-year-old man in a wheelchair crossed in front of the train and was struck. The man was transported to a local hospital with undisclosed injuries. Police say he was conscious and moving when EMTs arrived.
An all-night dance party is slated to begin in less than an hour at a downtown Minneapolis club in memory of Prince. The 57-year-old was found dead at his home studio in Paisley Park. President Obama released a statement calling him one of the most gifted and prolific musicians of our time. Since hearing the news of Prince's death, people have been gathering all day at Paisley Park to pay tribute. As a singer, songwriter, and instrumentalist, the man born Prince Rogers Nelson was among the most influential and acclaimed musicians of his time. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2004. Prince was a Minneapolis native who sold more than 100 million records worldwide. An autopsy will be performed to determine a cause of death.
Those in our area are remembering the music legend. They say Prince was the singer and guitar player that musicians wanted to be, and with excellent musicians in his band, he inspired the masses. The assistant manager over at Schmidt Music in Fargo remembers the night he met the music icon before he topped the charts.
Down in the cities, I was living there 73 to 85, and I used to play in this club called the Uptown, and he would come in and sit down and watch us for a while with his bodyguard. It was kind of cool.
Schroeder goes on to say that Prince will be remembered for what he calls a slick style of music.